Good morning. Happy Red Ribbon Week, and thank you for joining me for this presentation today on the power of prevention, substance use awareness. My name is Monica Belen. I am the Carrollton-Farmers Branch Independent School District's Chemical Dependency Counselor. I work with students in the district that have had any issues, concerns, or suspicions of using drugs to provide substance use prevention, education, and intervention counseling services. Today, I will be sharing information on current drug trends, things to look out for if you suspect your child is currently using drugs, ways to start discussions early on to prevent drug use, how to build and maintain relationships throughout adolescent years, and resources to help your child have a healthier lifestyle. The trends we are seeing so far this year have been students getting caught with or under the influence of alcohol, nicotine vape pens, and marijuana, the leafy type, as well as the THC dab pens, which have higher concentrations of THC levels. According to the Texas School Survey, alcohol is the most commonly used substance for students in grades 9 through 12, with a lifetime use of 42%, followed by tobacco with a 24% lifetime use, and marijuana is last with a lifetime use of 15%. If you suspect your youth is using, some common signs to watch out for include if you notice a change in their friends, they start hanging out with a different group of people. If you notice a drop in their grades, they start to skip school, their performance starts to lack a little bit more. If you notice that there's an increase of lack of motivation, again, if they're not going to school, not doing work. If you notice that they have bloodshot eyes, their eyes are glazed, they're squinting. If they sound like they are slurring their speech, or if you notice some unusual smells, like that skunk smell from marijuana, even fruity smells from vape pens, bad breath, lack of coordination, or increased paranoia. Drugs can be hidden in plain sight. Alcohol can be hidden in water bottles. Vape pens that look like USB drives can be hanging around in a bedroom next to a computer. Here are some examples of what kids can order online and have delivered straight to their home. You might have thought this was my soda that I was drinking. It's actually a hiding spot. It has a canister in the inside where you can hide things inside of it. And it looks like a soda can. Okay. Another example, if you have teenagers that drink Monsters, regular Monster can, until you take off the lid and you notice again it's a canister. And this is a pretty big canister. It goes pretty deep inside, so you can hide a lot of stuff in there. Okay. I have other goodies too. This even has a Dasani label on it. Don't be fooled, it's a container for hiding substances. There's actually quite a bit of space in here, okay? So you wanna just be mindful that if you see these random things getting delivered to your house, it might be some of those things. Other example is, this is a permanent marker, but if you open it, it actually has a little small container inside of it where things can be hidden in as well, and then shoved back in there, and it looks like a regular marker, and it even has like the tip of a regular marker as well. The things to watch out for so that you know what you're looking for is some of these things here. Vape pens are really common these days. You don't see students really smoking cigarettes anymore, but they do use vape pens, even though we know that you have to be 21 and older to buy them. They look at like in packages like this where it says this product contains nicotine. These things resemble like USB drives, markers, pens, and they're pretty small. This one is a Uno vape pen. Uno is a known brand. around the area. And this is comes in a box for batteries for your vape pen. And you just charge this at the end with a USB plug. And so this gets plugged right into somebody's computer, laptop at home, and they are charging their e-cigarette or vape pen right there. This is another example. This is something called like a puff bar. These are also nicotine products as well. So these puff bars and these vape pens, this has 4,000 puffs. That's a lot of puffs to smoke. And so they're getting all those nicotine and chemicals into their body. These things are commonly hidden in boxes, suitcases with zippers and pockets. You know, the type where you open up the suitcases and it has that zipper in the inside. Sometimes really down in the bottom of things, in drawers, dressers, closets, even under the dresser or under the bed, okay? Next, we're gonna move on to some consequences. We want you to be aware that if your student gets caught on school under the influence of a substance, is caught using a substance, or is caught being in possession of a substance, they may face severe consequences. Schools are considered drug-free zones. Some of these consequences include getting suspended, being sent to the alternative school, or being arrested and fined. Just recently, the state of Texas has made it illegal to sell or use Delta 8. Delta 8 is a substance in the same family as marijuana that is supposed to have lower levels of THC, but it can still cause that similar effect of feeling high. It is now considered a felony to have a Delta 8 vape, gummies, just like the THC dab pens, where each cartridge is a felony offense as well. Besides the legal consequences, though, there are health risks to consider as well. Students that use substances are at greater risk for higher levels of anxiety or experiencing anxiety, depression, declining health, and possibly struggling with addiction later on in life. The adolescent brain is still developing, and it's not fully developed until about the age of 25, which means that drug use before the age of 25 is going to really affect the way the brain develops. So what can parents do to prevent drug use? If you have elementary aged kids, prevention is key. Here are 5 ways to promote early prevention. First, you want to start talking to your kids at an early age about taking care of their body and making healthy choices. It is important to explain to kids that there are some drugs that are bad for our health. Just like we teach our kids early on to not have too much candy or too much soda, we should also be explaining to them that there are drugs out there that are dangerous and also against the law to use. Secondly, you want to explain to your child that only an adult should give medicine, and that they should not try to take any medication if an adult is not around and is not the one giving it to them. Third, you want to be approachable as a parent. Allow your child to come and talk to you and ask you questions, so they are comfortable at an early age to come to you for more information. Next, you want to make your values and your stance on drug use clear. Set those boundaries early on and be a role model. Lastly, it's important to teach your child, especially in elementary school, how to say no, to be confident, and to be able to deal with peer pressure. Research from the Texas School Survey has shown us that the average age of initiation for alcohol is about 12 years old. The average age of initiation for nicotine is about 13 years old. And the average age of initiation of marijuana is about 14 years old. This is that area, grade level between 7th grade and 9th grade. It's a very important time of transition for our youth. These times can often be stressful, and it also increases their risks of using greatly. So it's important to start building good relationships with our youth to help them acknowledge that they have someone that they can turn to when they need to talk about things. Next, I'm going to share 6 ways to build and maintain healthy relationships with your growing preteen and teen. First, you want to communicate with them. Again, allow them a safe place to talk, offer plenty of opportunities for discussion. You want to be present in those moments, away from the distractions, away from your cell phone. Show understanding, compassion. Listen with respect, and be interested in the conversation so that, again, they can feel comfortable. Provide encouragement. This helps to build confidence, which helps reduce giving in to peer pressure. Providing encouragement helps to provide support. You can offer praise, show interest in school progress and activities. Some examples of encouragement are, I know that wasn't easy, keep on trying, and I am so proud of you. A child gets discouraged when they are often reminded of their past failures. They need an opportunity to build trust if that trust has been lost, and to be able to become a better person, capable of making better decisions. Avoid using words such as always and never. The third key is negotiation. This helps with problem-solving skills, and it offers parents a way to work together with their teen to resolve issues. You can work with your child to brainstorm ideas if they have a problem. Evaluate that list of ideas. Choose a solution and do a follow-up. Next, you want to set limits. Setting limits helps parents teach self-control and responsibility to their teens. Show caring, and it provides safe boundaries. This is actually a 2-step process. When setting limits, you want to set rules that are clear, specific, and simple. You want to confirm that those rules are understood. Have a list of consequences ready, and be ready to follow through. The second step is to follow through. The consequences should be enforced consistently, and you can offer encouragement each time a rule is followed. The SANE guideline, SANE, can help adults establish appropriate consequences when youth break rules. The S stands for small consequences. Keep your consequences small and better. They are better. A stands for avoiding consequences that punish you as the parent. N, use non-abusive responses. And E, effective consequences that are under your control and that are non-rewarding to your child. That's the SANE guideline, SANE. The 5th key is supervision. Supervision is a key factor in parenting during childhood. As your teen starts to spend more time out of the house, it is harder to monitor their behavior and their whereabouts. So maintaining supervision helps to stay involved, promote safety, and recognize potential problematic situations. There are 4 C's for effective supervision. And some of these kind of reiterate some of the previous points, but let's explain those 4 C's. When setting supervision, think about clear rules. These are non-negotiable rules that are stated clearly. Examples of clear rules would be, no friends are allowed at the house when I am not home. Or another example is that you have your teen provide you with maybe a 24 or 48 hour notice, or if they ask you in advance for any sleepovers, parties, or other events. The next C is communication. Again, this includes having regular communication with the teachers at the school and other parents. This helps to keep you involved in their activities. It helps to create resources and builds a safety network for your child. The next C is checking up. This helps and lets your child know that you care about their safety and that your rules are important. Checking up includes talking to the parents of friends early on. You can talk to them on the phone or meet with them in person. But it is important to meet the parents of your teen's friends. And the last C is consistency. In supervision, it's important to set those clear limits and then follow through on those consequences. You have to be consistent and make sure you follow through. When you are not home to supervise, you can also know your student's child's schedule. Have them call to check in when they get home or whenever they get where they are going. You can do random visits or calls throughout the time that they are gone and out of the house. I know some parents that get into the habit of making video calls early on as a part of their routine, so that once they reach those teenage years, there's nothing really weird about it. And you get to see the environment of where they're answering their phone. You get to see who they're around. You get to see what they're doing. Lastly, you want to know your child's friends. You want to know who they are hanging out with, both at school and around the neighborhood. Talk about any changes that you notice as the parent. If there's a change in their behavior, their attitude, their speech. New friends you don't know. When building and maintaining these relationships with your teens, keep these next 5 conversation goals in mind. It is never too late to start talking about the risks of using drugs. The first conversation goal is to show your disapproval of underage drinking as well as other drug misuse. Over 80% of 10 to 18-year-olds say that the parents are the leading influence on their decision whether or not to drink. Show you care about your teen's health, wellness, and success. Remind them you want them to be happy and safe. The third goal is to show that you are a good source of information about alcohol as well as other drugs. You want to teach your teen reliable information about the dangers of drugs, so you can establish yourself, again, as a trustworthy source of information. Fourth, you want to show that you're paying attention and that you will discourage risky behaviors. Youth are more likely to drink or use other drugs if they think that no one is watching and no one will notice. So find a subtle way and try not to pry and don't come off as too judgy, but show them that you're paying attention. Fifth, you want to build your teen skills and strategies for avoiding drinking and drug use. Again, remember, peer pressure is a powerful thing. Have a conversation to make a plan to avoid offers from others. Practice saying no thanks and do check-ins frequently to help keep those lines of communication open. Remember, those teenage years can be stressful. Oftentimes, teens are dealing with friendship challenges, struggles, trying to balance school, homework, social, and family time. I want to share with you 10 ways that you can help your student, your child, your teenager deal with stress in order to promote a healthy lifestyle. First, know and understand that some stress is good. It can actually keep someone motivated and to get something done. Secondly, you want to identify those stressors. What is causing this stress? Is it being too busy, not getting enough sleep? Are they feeling too much pressure from school and parents? Are there any ongoing family problems? Are they struggling with their own personal identity? Or are they aware of financial stress within the household? Next, you want to help them recognize the body's response to stress. When they are feeling overly anxious, tired, they're not able to concentrate, maybe they're getting sick often, or just feeling too overwhelmed. Those can be signs that your body is reacting to the stress that you're experiencing. Help them identify what they can control and what they can't control. One can control waking up a little bit early to make it to school on time, or packing their things up the night before so nothing's forgotten in the morning rush. But there are other things that are just out of their control. Encourage them to slow down. Evaluate if their schedule is too busy. Prioritize tasks and reduce and make changes if needed. Next, encourage your youth to get physical. Encourage them to move their body, burn off some stress. Dancing, biking, basketball, football, sports, running, walking, getting fresh air. That will help them say, I'm bored. Okay, well, let's go outside and let's go do something. Have fun. Teach them to eat when they are hungry and sleep when they are tired. And remember, getting a good night's sleep is important every night. Next, you want to allow your teen to take time for themselves. Allow them to find things to help them relax in healthy ways. Music, a lot of kids like to listen to music. Laughing at a movie or a show. Drawing, coloring, having coloring books around the house. Building things. And again, getting some of that fresh air. Educate them on how stress can worsen with the use of alcohol and other drugs. Those things can add a lot of trouble at home and at school. And lastly, encourage them to talk it out. If they can talk with you, great. If not with you, ask them if they have a trusted friend, a family member, or to reach out to a school counselor to talk about things. Here at CFB ISD, we have resources to help your students and to help you, the parents, guardians, and the adults in their life to get help. The Counseling Connection Center at the ESDC offers students and families of our district free individual and free family counseling services. The Child and Family Guidance Center Safety Net program partners with our district and some of our campuses to work with students in a group setting to provide prevention education and to help promote making positive choices. As the district's chemical dependency counselor, I am able to meet with your students on their school campus and make any recommended referrals as needed. We also have children's telehealth as an option for some of our campuses to work with students dealing with any type of mental health concern. If they are experiencing depression or anxiety. If you are a guardian that is looking for treatment options for your youth, some options include IOPs, that's the intensive outpatient programs. Some places offer residential services, as well as partial hospitalization programs, which are known as PHPs. These resources will be posted on our Facebook page soon, as well as on one of our district websites. If you are interested in learning more ways to help your teen, there are different websites that you can visit. The National Institute of Health is drugabuse.gov. The SAMHSA website is SAMHSA, SAMHSA.gov, as well as Partnership to End Addiction, drugfree.org. A handout is available to view on our CFB website under Students and Families and Parent Education. As well, it will be posted on our CFB Facebook page. I want to thank you for joining me today. I am Monica Belen. Please reach out to me if you have